Hi, I'm Lou, another episode of My Car Story, and we're at the greatest muscle car show in the planet, Rosemont, Illinois, the convention center, which is just outside of Chicago, and I'm here with Rich and Ron. What's your last name, guys?
George.
George. These are two brothers. They've got an interest in Barracudas, and let me grab the camera. Thank you, Mark, as I usually do. I'll want to interview you guys real quick. First of all, this is where we're going. 43 Junior, and we're gonna video both of your cars, but you guys, how did you get so kind of Plymouth Mopar crazy?
Our father, he always had a Chrysler, a Dodge Plymouth, had a 65 Barracuda, and when we got our driver's licenses, we got 65 Barracudas.
Okay. Well, you guys took the Barracuda thing a little bit to the extreme because you don't have just a normal Barracuda, which is one thing. Which Barracuda are, and we're gonna have Rich show us the first one and Ron's gonna show us the other one. So I'm gonna focus with Rich for a second. Rich, tell me the story, although you're both partners in this car. What car is this?
This is Richard Petty's 43 Junior drag Barracuda.
So it's not a normal car at all.
Not at all.
It's way over the top. Let's go to the featured attraction. You're gonna come with me.
Okay.
And look at what we have here. Where was Richard Petty's car all this time?
Ron bought the car about 27 years ago. It's been sitting in his garage ever since. And about a year ago, it became time to get the restoration done. And he's been collecting parts for a long time. We got some funds together, went down to Petty's garage in Level Cross, North Carolina, and talked to them, and they performed the restoration. So the car was restored where it was built.
So, Ron, you knew you had Richard Petty's drag car?
Yes.
And you just had it next to like a big wheel and a Schwinn in the garage for all this time?
Yeah, it's been stored all this time.
Unbelievable.
And then with my brother's help, we were able to get it restored.
I mean, how proud are you guys of that, right? I mean, first of all, I'm just curious. Your dad's around. What does your dad think when he sees you guys with this car?
Well, he hasn't actually seen it yet, so today's going to be the first day.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he hasn't seen. Well, he's seen pictures of it. He hasn't seen the actual car restored yet.
Wow.
I saw it 27 years ago, and he thought it was a hunk of junk.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna think that. He ain't gonna think that today, is he? Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the side of this car. And this is the opening attraction. And by the way, it's sitting next to this one, the actual 70s Superbird of Richards. Can you believe this?
They brought him up from Level Cross from Petty's Museum.
Yeah, and we videoed that car. You can see Larry Elaney talk about that car if you go to the Richard Petty's Superbird. Tell me about the Kragers and everything. Was that exactly how it was in the day?
Yeah, our goal was to restore it to the point that he ran at Bristol Dragway. These are a couple of pictures right here from Bristol Dragway. And he had the Kragers on the back and the American Racing magnesium wheels on the front. So that's the point that we restored it to. There's a good picture of it right there on the sign there.
Let's get this. He looks pretty happy there.
1965 was the first year for the Kragers, so that was what he was running at that point with the picture, and that's where we had to put the Kragers on the back and the others, and you see the other sets right here.
So he has.
So there's two sets. There's a set of Kragers and there's a set of the American Racing magnesium.
But this is just the way. This is just the way it was, and restored.
And those are vintage Goodyear tires that are on there.
Restored just the way it was from Richard Petty's garage. Okay, take that in. Let's take a look at the back.
Parachute box.
A parachute box. Look at that. I get the feeling a few people have seen this view. Whoever might have tried to race it. All right, let's take a look. Look at the beautiful. Was this always his color? I mean, this blue like this? Do we know what color this actually is?
Petty blue.
Petty blue. When you've got a color named after you, I mean, that's. They're not saying Lou Blue or something like that. I mean, it rings, Lou Blue, but no. Now here's Richard's steering wheel, and as you can hear me in here, there's an echo. So I can only imagine who's driven this car? Both of you?
Larry
I've driven
Laney
it.
and my brother Rich has driven it.
You've
Yeah.
driven it. What's it sound like in here when you start this?
It's quite loud. It's louder on the inside than the outside.
Louder on the inside. So do you wear like earplugs or muffins?
No,
or
you just enjoy the music.
you just yeah, the music of the engine.
And you get a great view of the Hillborn fuel injection, the stacks.
So what's that box that I'm looking at over there? It's a silver box. Looks like an electrical box on the side of a house.
Yeah, that's got all the electrical components.
Okay, that is an electrical box. Okay, great. And there's a door there. Does that door actually open?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then there is nothing but excitement in here and a big roll bar.
All the windows are blue acrylic.
Was that the way it was?
Yes.
Really? That's pretty, is this the drag parachute pulse?
That's
That's
the first gear select, and then the other one back there is for the parachute.
This is the parachute.
Yes.
So this is the gear select. What is this black button here? It looks like by the trans.
Fuel shut off.
Fuel shut off. All right, that's in case you're going, oh my God, let's shut this thing off. All right, let's, it's gonna be a little bit of a process. Let's take a look at under the hood. Let both of you guys work on that one. While they're doing that, I'll kind of pan back and show you that. And the blue lenses were that was all the way it was back
Yes.
then. Obviously. You know, something tells me they don't give you the front spot at the muscle car and Corvette National if it's not exactly original. Let me get out of the way. And now let me get in the way. Holy cow. Oh boy.
Mark, you want to kind of stand by this here just to make sure
That is, this thing looks like it just screams. What would, I'm just curious, what would Richard run in a quarter mile in this? Do you have any idea?
10's at about 136. I
That's
think he got into the 9s towards the end of the
Really?
season. Raced the car in 1965 from I believe March all the way till February of '66.
How'd you get that cool 43 junior hat? And there's the Superbird.
Actually, so there's we got a bunch of 43 hats over there, but this one's a little special with the junior. Right?
Yeah, right.
My boss at work found the hat. They were giving them away at Jewel, and he took one to the embroidery shop and put the junior on it.
That's a good boss. That's a boss. That's a boss that understands a man's passion, right there. Very cool. All right, guys. Let's. How difficult is it to put the hood back on it, so we can have you stand right next to it? Look at that. Let me get out of the way. We'll watch the process and how that works. There's two brothers working together, and Dad would be very proud of that moment. All right, guys stand right next to each other. How did you end up getting together with the Muscle Car National? Who talked you into all this?
We spoke with Bob Ashton.
All right, Bob, the managing director here, and he knew that was coming, and you also got the Superbird 43 here
Yes.
too. Guys, what a great opportunity and a great show and a little chance of history here. Thanks for being here, and thanks for being on My Car Story.
Thank you.
Thanks.